from the historic Ham Building in St. Paul, it's the Haberdasher's Couch. I'm Kendrick, inviting you to the show, starring Heimie and Dorset, featuring Todd Walker, also featuring Amye Scharlau. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Heimie.
Happy Fashion Friday. I'm here again with Mr. Keith Dorset, and this is the Haberdasher's Couch. And you don't have to pay somebody to listen to you, but I sure gotta pay this guy, don't I? Show me the sesame. So Keith, whether you feel reborn or you just want to hit the reset button for the new year, this is the time of year where we always talk about what we promised ourselves, and maybe other people, but
the beginning of the year. Huh?
the beginning of the year. But one thing that I think that men need to talk more about is mental health. Good mental health.
Very much so.
Right? Give me a perspective on how you maintain good mental health, Keith.
I count to 10 before I answer myself.
Wow, I like that one. Just decompress.
Decompress.
Okay, so listen to yourself.
Yeah, and I think I'm at an age where as you get older, everything starts to make sense to you.
It does.
This is my
the maturity
opinion.
part of it.
You mature a little bit more,
Yeah.
and I think we're in an era now where we're a little bit more open, and you have to leave yourself a little bit more open and vulnerable to kind of talk about things that will make you transition into the latter years, right? Because when I was young, you just run,
Right.
and all of a sudden things stop. If you were injured, if you were I was telling you a story about a festival I used to go to. It used to scare the bejeebus out of me. Then I figured out why that was.
Sure, the triggering mechanism.
So you learn to manage those things.
So I understand that you do meditate,
Yes.
right? And then exercise.
100%.
So those, for me, exercise has been a savior.
Yeah, and I think
For my
this is
mental
really, and then understanding that everything you can't fix, you know.
I like that because
everything
that's like handing it off.
Yeah, sometimes people are taught you have to do this, you have to fix this, you have to be this, you have to do this, and it might be for you to fix one thing and me to fix another thing and somebody else to fix something, and let's all of
let's
us.
talk about anxiety at the workplace. So we have a tendency to bring our work home, right? So we could say that if we want to relieve some of that anxiety, okay, we could also say let's not check our phones when we get home from work. So all of a sudden jump on the social media network and all of a sudden now you got a whole other set of circumstances.
Well, one of the things that we have here is each other. So we're face to face. So there's some immediate interactions and we can interact with each other face to face. And so that energy that I feel that we bring to each other, it helps. So you don't have to take anything home. And it's nothing that really is, I would say, we take our job serious, and it's important to us. But I think what we've done, you and I, what we've done here, even as a community, is really worked on our relationship with each other, right? And so, and then we all have gone through certain things, and we talk about it, and then people get to relate to it, and someone that might not have felt open to talk about those things. So we have each other here. So when you come into a space that's like this, it's not online, it's not anything. I think there's value in that in helping you to manage your the mental side of things as well.
How about reconnecting with an old friend?
Yeah, that can happen, but I think there's chapters as well. What I've learned is there's chapters of friends. People remain friends, but then you go to another chapter and you meet new people. So sometimes
I have to say, remember that. What was really rejuvenating for me is you invited me to your house for a beautiful dinner. That social engagement, that social interaction, that friendship, right? That we have was so beautiful and wonderful. And so I thank you for that.
Yeah, because it's pretty organic.
And we shared food.
Over food. I was going to say there's certain instances and certain times that and so why it's important that families or communities sit down and break bread. There are some tried and true methods that people can sit down and again, it goes back to the energy of everyone that's in the room. So you're present, right? And you can be present. So that's why when we sat down, it was sort of an extension.
Sure.
This is an extension
it was very,
of our lives.
Very good for me.
So it's really very, and we have to open ourselves up for that, you know, and I don't find myself being vulnerable here. I just find myself being what I think is normal. So it's been very, and then we've came out of the last several years. It was a major event. And so I think there was a lot of eye-opening instances for people. And I think through a lot of tragic events, people come out and they said, I'm going to do this different, I'm going to do this different. It's just us being around each other to reinforce that. So when we kind of fall back into our own
So let's just recap. We got, it's almost like eating well, sleeping well, exercising, breathing meditation, reconnecting with the ones you love, and maybe an old friend, and then maybe cutting yourself some slack.
Yeah. You know, you make new relationships, form new relationships, because there are chapters, and I find there's chapters in our lives that allow us to do that, and it's just a matter of us accepting that and saying to ourselves, we are okay. We're going to be okay. And I think that helps. From the mental health is such an I find
ongoing.
It's the most important thing in humanity, right?
It is,
because you can that mental piece runs the physical.
Well, you know, this conversation, Keith, has caused me to feel better about myself, and I want to thank you.
You should be looking
for
like that.
sharing your way of getting to better mental health. Thanks, folks. We'll talk to you next week.
Todd About Town, Todd Walker, entertainment, travel, and more. Hey, Todd, what's new?
Happy Friday, and welcome to another show, The Haberdasher's Couch. We don't have to pay somebody to listen to you. And guess what? It's 2024, and Todd's still hanging around. And I love it because 2024 should be pretty spectacular.
It's going to be a great year.
Good
I
year.
like even numbers. So 2, 4.
You're one of those?
I am. I can't stand odd numbers.
Two in the 4 goes 2 times. 2 in the 2 goes once. It almost cancels itself out. That's good.
I just don't like odd numbers.
Good
so
numbers.
24
I'm
will
a
be
numbers
better.
guy too. And I tell you what, folks, we got a big lineup today.
Well, not really so big. This is January. There isn't much going on in January. If you have ideas, feel free to send them my way.
How can you not?
January is just a very dry, in more ways than one, month. As I was saying before we started here, it's ridiculous that dry January happens in January.
I
mean, pick the longest month, the darkest month, the grayest month, and the fewest activities.
But Todd,
it's
look
ridiculous.
there's game night. There's game night at Malcolm Yards.
You be me that has to go through and
that's
find
some
things.
exciting stuff.
It was not like a very fruitful research. Yeah, there's game night. I love Malcolm Yards. They have great food, some great new vendors coming in. It's Paul's nightclub is coming in there, or Paul's Palace from the Edina area. He's opening a spot in there, and so is Revival Foods. So those are 2 new places. And if you on a Sunday are bored, you can go to Malcolm Yards. Great. It's a wonderful food hall concept. You go in, you buy a card, and you go around and you simply order your beverages. They have sushi. They have a wonderful burger place. It's really great pizza. And so you just go over with your card, and then at the end, it's all on your credit card. So it's very cool.
So where else in the world, or maybe in the United States, can you see 9,000 works of art with representing over 5,000 years worth of history?
At the Minneapolis Institute of Art, or MIA. And a lot of people always think that you have to pay to attend. So MIA is free.
Yeah.
So that's
I actually do like the coffee shop that's there. And the bookstore is awesome, so.
Sure.
Yeah. Celebration days.
So this is happening over at the Science Museum, and it runs through January. And the Science Museum is $20 for children to get in, and then it is $30 for adults. And it's a show it's discovering all these different how do you say it? Like different indigenous.
Yep, multicultural.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And
diversity, celebrate diversity.
Right. So it's very nice, and you can go in, and then it's focused on people that identify as Black, Indigenous, people of color to the museum, celebrating diversity and creativity and science, technology, education. And you want something to do, you might want to go to Raw Stage's New Works Festival. And I specifically found this for you. And it's at the History Theater. And you go in, it's $15, and they basically do a run-through or like a table read, if you've ever done a table read before.
Absolutely.
Table read is where you go in and you read scripts and with other actors and actresses. And this is happening at the History Theater. Now, doesn't it sound interesting what they're doing?
Yeah, New Works Festival is an opportunity for you to get inside and look at script development process.
Yeah. So they have actors on stage that do standing, but they do basically a table read, and then afterward, it's like an open discussion to give you feedback on to the artistic team and the cast.
So do you bring your own script, or is it?
They have scripts that you're going to be
already
there.
Okay.
They have scripts that you're going to be there, but I thought next year you should have your script.
I should.
So why don't you go this weekend?
Won't it ruin me?
Well, you've already been ruined. So why don't you go this weekend, it runs through Sunday, to get a feel for what it's like, and then bring your script next year.
I haven't been ruined, I've been roughed up. It's a big difference.
Well, call it what you may. Yeah.
And Todd, according to a predicted score,
Okay.
the Philadelphia Flyers are going to lose to the Wild by 3.56
I think they will
points.
lose.
4 points.
I think they will lose. And they're playing Friday night at 7 o'clock. And then Saturday night, the Wild play the Coyotes at 7 o'clock. And tickets start at just the small dollar amount of $70.
So bring the whole family, folks.
Right. So if
invite
you
a friend.
They do have some a little bit less expensive tickets. Anyway, so that's happening. And also the Roller Girls are back playing, which is fun if you've never seen them. They're down at the Roy Wilkins Auditorium downtown St. Paul. So that's what's going on this month.
Can you predict anything?
So if you have any great ideas, feel free to share them in January, the longest, darkest, boringest month.
And that's it, folks. That's the prediction for 2024. We'll see you next week.
Hello, this is Amye the Hypnotist here at beautiful Heimie's Haberdashery, and this is Coffee Talk. Happy New Year's, everyone. Who out there has made a New Year's resolution? How many of you out there have already broken it? I bet it's a lot. Well, I have a resolution that is perfect for everyone, and that is to have proper self-compassion. It's different from self-esteem. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with warmth and kindness no matter what happens in life. It's about being interconnected and realizing that, yeah, you're only human and things are going to happen. Self-esteem tends to be a little bit more dependent on comparing yourself to other people, on comparing yourself to how well you're reaching your goals. And that's good too, but self-compassion is always going to be there with you. Now, self-compassion is a learned skill. It is something you get better at. So talk to yourself in a kind manner if you can. If you need to, write yourself a kind letter, which sounds very strange, but it works. And one of the oldest techniques for building up that self-compassion is to simply treat yourself the way you would your own very best friend. Now, there are some fantastic benefits for exercising self-compassion. People with a lot of self-compassion have better relationships. They have better overall health, and they even have lower rates of depression and anxiety. So as you go into this upcoming year, no matter what happens, no matter if you fall flat on your face, pick yourself up and treat yourself well, because you deserve it. And that, my friends, is Coffee Talk.